Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing this bold pink lip along with a dramatic smoky winged liner for you. The first thing that I've done is gone in and primed my face using my Nivea Men Aftershave Balm. If you want to know why this works as a great primer, head on over to Nikki Tutorials channel. And then next up, I'll be going in with my foundation. Today I'm using my True Match foundation and I'm just buffing this all over the skin with a Morphe brush. It is a little bit darker than my natural skin tone, so I'm just dragging that down my neck just to make sure it all blends out. So next up for concealer, and I'm just going in under the eye area with my Maybelline Age Rewind. It is a couple shades lighter than the foundation I've gone for, so I'm also doubling it up as a little bit of a highlighter. And then underneath the eye area, I'm going in with a bit of my Benefit, I think it's called Benny Beam, just to make sure it's all light underneath the eye. And I'll be blending that out with my Real Techniques beauty sponge. Before you use any sort of beauty blender or beauty sponge, you do just want to make sure that it's damp, so give it a couple pumps underneath the sink, just because that will stop the sponge from taking any of your product away and just help you to have a really nice blended out dewy finish. So next up I'm going to set the under eye area, and I'm just using the banana shade from the Anastasia contour kit. This is my favourite way to set my eyes. And then for the rest of my face I'll be going in with my MAC Studio Fix foundation. It's a powder foundation just to give me a little bit more coverage as my skin isn't great at the moment. I'm in shade NC15, and this will also help to balance out the darker foundation that I accidentally put on earlier. So next up I'm going to go in with my brows, and I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown. The Brow Wiz is my absolute fave brow pencil of life. I don't know what it is, but it's just, I think it's because it's quite hard. It just goes on so well. Doesn't look too chunky or anything like that. But I'm actually going to whiz through my brows on this pretty quickly because everybody feels in them quite differently. So really just do whatever works for you. So once you've completed your brows, we're going to move on to shadow, and the first part of the shadow is going to be really simple, not very many shades at all. The first one I'm going to be going in with is the fawn colour from the Anastasia contour kit, just using that throughout the crease area, buffing it backwards and forth in windshield wiper motions, just to make sure that we've got a really nice seamless transition colour there before we go in with the darker shade. And then the next colour that I'm using is the more warm brown from the Anastasia contour kit. You'll see it now. And I'm just going to lay that right on top of the fawn colour that we put on, just to add a little bit of depth and dimension to the eye. And you also want to make sure that you get some of this down on the outer corners of your lid as well, just because these are the only dark shadows that we're going to be using. Once you've done that, you want to go in with a nice light creamy shadow. I'm using this one from one of my Morphe palettes, and on a flat shader brush just add this to the inner corner of your eye and down onto the lid. These are the only shadows that we're going to be using, so in a second you'll see me go in just with a clean blending brush just to make sure the cream shadow there mixes well with those Anastasia colours, and just again to make sure it's all seamless. Once you're happy with that, we're going to move on and start our winged liner. Whenever I'm doing my liner, I always make the kind of first initial part of the wing with a liquid liner, just because I really struggle to get it thin and angled with a gel. Then a little tip, if you are using gel liner, is to pinch the angled brush in with a makeup wipe to start with, so the bristles are as thin as possible, and you'll find that the gel goes on much easier and you have much more control of where your product's going. Shouldn't really do this, but I always tug at the corner of my eye when I'm doing my liner, just because I have hooded eyes and I find it really difficult to do it in one motion without pulling the eyelid taut. But if you can get away with not doing that, then I recommend it, because I'm going to get wrinkles really quickly. So next up I'm going to go in with my mascara, and I'm just using my Rimmel Lash Accelerator. Again, today I'm not going to be curling my lashes because we are going to go in with falsies, and I always find it really difficult to put falsies on top of curled lashes. Next up, we're going to go back in with that gel, and I'm just going to tightline my waterline. I'm sorry this looks really gross on camera. And you'll notice that I've smudged a bit of mascara on my lid there. Rather than trying to wipe that off to start with, I'm going to wait for that to dry, and then we can just flake it off at the end. So next up, I'm going to tightline underneath my eye with some extra shadows. For the first part, any kind of warm, deep, purplyish brown will absolutely do fine. And then you want to also just go over the top of that, kind of blending it as you go with kind of a shade lighter, but you're still working with those warm, dark, purpley browns there. Next up, we're going to take a pencil brush, and we're going to take, again, a warm brown, but just a few shades lighter, and we're just going to buff out those two colours. You kind of, as you're buffing, want to drag it downwards so it smokes it out really well. And then I'll go in with a fluffier brush, again, and pull it downwards just to make sure you've really got that nice smoky effect. Next up, I'm highlighting my inner corners and under my brow using the Vanilla Shade Pigment from MAC. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of black to my waterline because it wasn't really as smoky as I'd wanted it. Again, blending it out with that fluffy brush. So then I'm going to go in with lashes, and today I'm using the Iconic Lashes by House of Lashes. These are really nice, but they are quite difficult to work with because the band is so thick. So anything that works for you will look absolutely fine. And then I'm just going to coat my bottom lashes, again going in with that Rimmel Lash Accelerator mascara. Now we just need to finish the face, and to contour I'm again using the Anastasia colour Fawn, and I'm going to first of all contour my cheekbones using my NARS Eater brush, and then I'm going to just do the outer perimeters of my face with any fluffy brush. And to clean up I'm going to go in with some of this Collection sheer powder, and I just pick that up on the bottom of my beauty blender, it doesn't matter that it's still damp, and just carve out the edges there. Now I'm going to go in with this liquid lipstick, and I'm really sorry but I can't remember where it's from. It's a really cheap one from Superdrug. I think it's by the brand Revolution, but I'm not entirely sure of the name of it. But any colour you want will work absolutely fine. You could use a bold pink, you could use a red, or you could go with something nude. This eye look really does go with anything. So once we've done that, we're going to go back to the skin, and I'm first of all going to go in with this Rimmel blush, just dusting that on with it's a really cheap brush actually. I think it's from Beauty Bay, it was a couple of quid. And then once you've done that, just go in and dust off that sheer powder that you've put on there. And the final step in the look is to highlight, and I'm of course using my Mary Luminizer from the Balm. It's my favourite highlight of life, and I'm just putting that on top of my cheekbones and above the brows for a little bit of lift. Once you've done that, guys, you're good to go. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you did, and I'll hopefully see you on the next one. See you soon, guys. Bye.